Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ooh, later with Mokelly. Okay, AM 640.
Here is my final thought. Let me be serious for a moment. By now, you probably have heard the news that at least one person died and several others were injured after a plane crashed into another jet at Scottsdale Airport in Arizona today. And a Cessna 208B crashed into sea ice just outside of Nome, Alaska, after going missing during a flight last Thursday afternoon. 10 people dead. That's after 6 passengers of a medical jet and 1 person on the ground were killed after the plane crashed in a Philadelphia neighborhood last Friday evening. And all of this is in the wake of the Reagan National Airport mid-air collision over the Potomac, which killed 67 people. Are the collisions, are the accidents, are the crashes related? Of course not. Not specifically, at least, but emotionally, they all connect in our recent memories. Our politics, as of late, has embraced the idea of just blaming the previous guy. I'm old enough to remember, maybe you are too, but I'm old enough to remember it was said, the buck stops here. But that's no longer the case. Now it's just blame, blame, blame. But I did find a quote that I especially liked that I want to close out with. And it goes like this. Leaders, true leaders, take responsibility for the success of the team and understand that they must also take responsibility for the failure. It's so good, I'm going to read it twice. Leaders, true leaders, take responsibility for the success of the team and understand that they must also take responsibility for the failure, close quote. That quote is from Donald Trump. And I'll take him at his word. I honestly don't know what is going on with our planes and air traffic control, but I do know we only have one president at a time. And I do know only one head of our federal government at a time. And the answer to this, whatever this is, but it is a problem, but the answer to this must come from the top. And here are the facts. Our president fired the head of the Transportation Security Administration, fired the entire Aviation Security Advisory Committee, froze hiring of all air traffic controllers, fired 100 top FAA security officers, all on the same day. The same day. He's not been a passive participant in this. He's been very much involved. But again, blame and responsibility are not the same. Blame is looking back. You're trying to say, well, this happened in the past. This person did this, so therefore they are responsible. It's an excuse. It's a cop-out. It's an abdication of responsibility. That's blame. Blame is the easy way out. Responsibility, at least from where I sit, it's about going forward. And tonight I'm assessing no blame. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, Biden did this. And it's not to protect Biden. It's just because blame doesn't solve the future problem. Blame doesn't tell us what we need to do if and when the next plane crashes. And unfortunately, if the past is prologue, there's a distinct possibility that there may be another issue in the very near future. And it can't be always the other person's fault if you're the person in charge. You're the person who wanted the job. You're the person who got the job. So then, as the job holder, you are judged by your job performance. And again, I'm not going to assess any blame, but I am going to do this. I'm going to look at future responsibility. Let's just say all bets are off and the clock starts now. This is our president's baby. Whatever happens going forward, given the moves that he's made prior to now, whatever happens going forward is his responsibility, because he has been an active participant in whatever our future air traffic control and our airport security is going to be. He has been actively involved, and it bears mentioning. Fired the head of the Transportation Security Administration, fired the entire Aviation Security Advisory Committee, froze hiring of all air traffic controllers, and that's saying nothing of the fact that we all know that they have been overworked and understaffed. Fired 100 top FAA security officers all on the same day. And I'll say it one more time before I go. This is the president's baby, whatever happens going forward. And as our leader, I'm not one of those people who's ever going to say, not my president. No, he's my president. He's your president. He's everyone's president. The country is chosen. And as our leader, as our president, he can't only be willing to take responsibility for the success, but also any responsibility for the failure too. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly. Before we go, we've been using a new segment to close out the show. Right now, it's called The Final Thought. I may change it, but it's just some things that I've been ruminating on and sort of just bouncing around in my head, but with the news of the day. And here's tonight's. Probably by now, you've heard about the chances of a particular asteroid striking Earth within the next decade. Well, it's doubled over the past few weeks, the chances of it hitting Earth. And this is according to NASA astronomers. Doubled, I said. To be fair, it only doubled from 1 to 2%. But if I told you that there was a 2% chance of your next flight ending up in the side of a mountain, you wouldn't like those chances, would you? Kind of same thing. The asteroid, discovered just after Christmas, has been named 2024 YR4. It could possibly strike the planet in December of 2032. And this is according to NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies. And the way we've been going, that too will be defunded by the federal government. We've all likely seen movies like Armageddon, Deep Impact, similar plot lines. Killer asteroid discovered, the world comes together and depends on America to save the day. And in both of those movies, with varying degrees, the day is saved. But this is real life. And potentially, we are only at step one. The killer asteroid. It's out there. It's been identified. That's step one. All that's left is step 2 and step 3, for the world to come together and then America to save the day. But step 2 and 3 would seem to be damn near impossible right about now. We are far closer to Netflix's Don't Look Up, which detailed an America in denial of an asteroid impact. That to me seems more realistic. We don't take measles seriously. We don't take polio or E. coli seriously anymore. We don't take science and scientists seriously anymore. Scientists, we know more than the scientists, than the experts, the elitists. So given that, what chance is there of us taking an asteroid seriously? Hell, we're still yelling at each other over whether we've actually been to the moon. We're still cussing each other out over whether the Earth is spherical. That's actually like a real debate in someone's minds these days. We, as in the United States of America, have routinely devalued higher education and science and facts. The betting favorite at this point should be the asteroid. And I got to be honest, a large part of me pulling for the asteroid, or at least until we stop acting like an unserious nation. For example, today, a congressman from Georgia introduced a bill to the House of Representatives with a straight face that would give a new name to Greenland. Instead of Greenland, it would be named Red, White, and Blue Land. This asteroid cannot get here fast enough. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly. If you find yourself being more stressed out because of politics, researchers have actually quantified that as to why. And I often say when I'm not working, I don't talk about politics. I'll post some snark on social media. I will from time to time, but I don't always. And I don't want to go deep with people because it begins to stress me out. It absolutely stresses me out, which is almost a contradiction. But all of my TV work, if you've been paying attention, is political. And some of my radio work is too. So I need some time to balance that out. There's a national survey on stressors conducted by the American Psychological Association, or APA, for 2024 found that the future of the nation, or politics, was the leading cause of significant stress among adults, with nearly 8 in 10, 77%, reporting it as a major source of anxiety. And here are some of the other takeaways from this and other comparable studies. Everyday political events can cause harm psychological and to our physical well-being. In fact, politics can harm people's well-being as much or more than, get this, alcohol. A study conducted in 2017 estimated that 94 million Americans felt politics caused significant stress, 44 million lost sleep, 30 million suffered physical health harm, and 11 million had suicidal thoughts, effects comparable to or worse than those associated with alcohol, except none of the buzz or none of the great sex connected to it. That's just my little addendum. In short, our politics is killing us. But wait, there's more. The multiple studies concluded not only are politics-related well-being issues worsened for many in recent years, political polarization is linked with worse anxiety and depression. And here's my takeaway and one I give to you. If the country is going to hell, and we all have our theories as to why or whether it is or who is responsible, here's the truth. You won't have any real say in it or saving it. I know you think that posting on social media is going to make a difference, but I'm here to tell you it will not. I know that if you think if you insult enough people in real life or in cyberspace, it's going to make a difference. It will not. It's not going to change anything. Either the country's going to go to hell or it won't go to hell. This is my recommendation. Do like I do and know when to let it go. It's not worth your health. It's not worth your peace. And most importantly, it's not worth your life. Know when to just let it go. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly. As I close out the show in the week for my final thought, I did say that the fellas were going to go see Captain America: Brave New World. And I wanted to talk about that. And you know, it's starring Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, Tim Blake Nelson, and others. And the movie is not hitting theaters without controversy. We've talked about some of it. You may not know all of it. But some have complained, maybe you are in this group, that there's only one Captain America, and it's the character Steve Rogers, as portrayed by Chris Evans. I mean, that's nice. It's not true, but it's nice for you to think that. Even in the comics, Anthony Mackie's character Sam Wilson took the mantle of Captain America. Even Bucky took the mantle of Captain America, and he basically was a Russian spy killing Americans. And if you're okay with him taking the mantle of Captain America, I damn sure know that Sam Wilson can. And others have complained Anthony Mackie's character didn't take the super serum, so therefore he can't be Captain America. That's nice. It's nice that you think that. But if you really know the Captain America subtext, it was Steve Rogers' heart which made him great, and that was enhanced by the serum. But speaking of the comics, if you really knew Sam Wilson, the character, you should already know that, and this is assuming you know the comics, that Sam Wilson, the character, served in the Air Force 58th Rescue Squadron as a pararescueman and did 2 tours and was a test pilot, expert marksman with military firearms. He was an expert in hand-to-hand combat. He was a master pilot. He was an expert tactician who helped plan special operations. He was a counselor to veterans with PTSD. He was already an American hero. Put that in a real person, you would probably say, yeah, they're worthy of being Captain America. And for all the talk we have about respecting or disrespecting the military, to say that that guy, Sam Wilson, that character, is either unworthy to represent America or is not appropriate to represent America, y'all are telling on yourselves. But such a debate is not completely disconnected to the whole point of the Kendrick Lamar halftime show and this idea of what is America, who is American, and who deserves to represent America. Yeah, I know Captain America Brave New World is a movie, but it's also a mirror held up to us as we trip over ourselves, making Kendrick Lamar's point that some people have the idea, and it's the wrong idea, some people have the idea that America is only for some people and only certain circumstances. That never was and never will be the case. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.